If it's important to members of the Jewish community or Jewish communal leaders that Jews be thought of well in American society, how important is the media to that?
I think we're marginally important to that at best. I think that, for one thing, there's everything out there in the media. So if you're interested in finding stories that make Jews look like warm, loving, kind, caring, considerate people, those stories are out there. There are also stories about Jews who steal money and molest children and abscond with the congregation's good silver and move to Boca or Argentina or wherever. So because there's everything in the media ecology and on the internet and on our 300 cable channels, there's no way that any one reporter, even a reporter for the New York Times, can define the narrative about Jews.
As you look from your perch at how Jews are portrayed in the media, do you think there's a kind of a monolithic view of Judaism's portrayed, that we're portrayed in our full diversity, or somewhere in between?
One of the people in my talk today made the point that a lot of stories about Jews in the media seem to focus on very observant Jews because they're good visuals. We know what they look like if they have their black hats on or their beards, which of course not all observant Jews have or wear, but and that they tend to do things in public that that owe something to their Jewish beliefs. So the Times story about ultraorthodox men who don't want to sit next to women on airplanes. It's hard to imagine what the Reform Jewish equivalent of that story is. So I do think that probably I fall into the trap of writing about very, very observant people too much. Often it's hard to find what the meaningful stories are among the less observant Jews or the less observant Catholics or Lutherans or Presbyterians or whatever, because they don't do as many things that are directly influenced by their religious faith. So there are fewer stories out there.
So if you could wave a magic wand and have one thing about American Jewish life focused on more in the media today, what would that be?
I wish that there were more stories about committed Reform and conservative Jews and what their religiosity means to them. We seem to have a lot of stories about very religious Jews, Orthodox Jews, and we seem to have a lot of stories about interfaith couples, also people who may be Reform or conservative but are coming at their theology from a queer perspective or pushing new boundaries in terms of gender relations within the religion. Those things are important, and I don't want to treat them as marginal, but they are a bit more obviously newsworthy at this point than the story of the family that's just trying to figure out how to lead a meaningful Reform or conservative Jewish life in a way that's not apparent to their neighbors or their coworkers, and that doesn't announce itself publicly in any way. How to make that newsworthy, how to give a sense of the texture of that existence is a real challenge, and I wish we did a better job at that. How does the non-Jewish world perceive Jews as a function of the media? I don't think the non-Jewish world perceives Jews as a function of the media. I think most people get most of their beliefs not from the media. They get their beliefs from television or movies or pop music or little cute kitty cats on the internet doing funny little things in 6-second vines or GIFs or whatever. So I think the media is way more secondary and tertiary to people's perception of everything these days than it used to be, than it was in the days of the hegemony of Walter Cronkite and CBS News.